Hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this crazy Sunday night? Huh? Sunday, the fun day, right? Well, yeah, I just finished having my dinner, and then I also finished some work that I was doing on my computer here at home. This week is busy. Uh, and we're getting busier and busier as things are opening up, right? Are they really opening up? Huh? I hope so. Well, I'm actually, you know what I'm watching is from 19, not 19, from 2019, they had the French Open. So I'm watching the whole French Open, tennis. There's fucking Nadal. And who's he playing against? I have no freaking idea. But in any case, so I'm doing my podcast on this Sunday, May 31st, 2020, and weather has been a little chilly today, huh? Despite we had warmer days just yesterday and the days before, right? In this previous week. But I guess, you never know. This is fucking Northeast. You never fucking know. Weather can change um, anytime. It's still not June, so it's still one more day. Like how many hours to go into fucking June, huh? Um, one more day. Well, hours is what, like 9:30, 34 p.m. So 2.5 hours into June 1st, 2020. So, with all the fucking, you know, chaos and the fucking news that's happening these days in this country. And you know what I did? And this is something great happened, something that actually really made my fucking night and day. Uh, is that, sorry, is that, as you all know, the NASA and SpaceX joint venture, SpaceX's Dragon, test mission 2, that was supposed to actually happen on Wednesday, actually did happen yesterday. So they postponed it because of the fucking weather down in Cape Canaveral. Canaveral, is that how you say it? Down in Florida. But the weather was perfect, so basically I watched the whole fucking thing yesterday. I went to get my sandwich, and then from until like maybe 2:45 p.m. until like maybe 9 p.m. I watched the whole fucking thing. It was fucking great. The launch happened with after all the tests and everything, and I was watching the live the footage from SpaceX's website, SpaceX.com. So the launch happened around like 3:22 p.m. yesterday. What the fuck am I saying? I'm sorry. Yeah, yesterday, which was March 30th, which was the Saturday. Yes, sorry. Today is March 31st, so March 30th, March 31st. And then 12 minutes, the Falcon 9 rocket actually came back, landed on the ship in the fucking sea. I don't know where the fuck it was, but it landed perfectly. And then the Dragon, with the cargo load, and then the two astronauts, NASA's astronauts, they basically continued towards the lower orbit, towards the International Space Station, And it's fucking amazing how actually, the whole thing actually was planned out, and it actually was then executed perfectly. Everything was as according to plans, and I was watching the two astronauts. What were the names of the two astronauts? The NASA. I don't want to give their names wrong. But in any case, so hold on a second. I'm sorry. Astronauts. Too many fucking videos on YouTube. Doug and astronauts Doug and Benken, from NASA's flight missions. They have actually been on space shuttle missions back in 2011. Before that, So basically, both NASA and SpaceX made another history for the first time in 9 years, they basically launched, the module with the crew, with two crew members, and they perfectly basically docked the Dragon into the the docking door or window, whatever the hell you call it, right? At the docking station at the International Space Station. That was fucking amazing. And then they did a briefing after they actually came out of the Dragon capsule, SpaceX Dragon, and then it was fucking amazing. So basically, it just that just gives me some sort of a fucking not the word satisfaction I want to use, but some sort of just it uplifts my I guess my indirectly it uplifts my inner self, in a sense that we human beings actually have achieved so much. Although I still call the fucking International Space Station still is a piece of junk. I still adhere to my words. But within the past 200 years, 300 years, which is not even a fucking drop in the bucket or in the sea of the life of this planet and the solar system, we have achieved to actually have a space station above our planet, which is the only habitable planet. But this also gives us hope that, not hope, but it actually gives us real scenario. It gives us a real scenario of actually now, although we have been to fucking moon, 50 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever the fuck it is, right? But now we can basically take the human beings back to moon, have a base there eventually, and then eventually we get on to Mars and then have a base there, and then use moon and Mars as our second and maybe third home, right? So that was fucking great. And then today, what happened was that, obviously, they, after 9 p.m. last night, the crew, both at the International Space Station, they go to sleep earlier, so they have to get 8 hours, brisk sleep. So that's what the crew of Dragon, astronauts Doug and Benken did. So I don't know how they could actually sleep for fucking 8 hours in that position, while sitting in the fucking chair, right? Of that capsule, the Dragon capsule. But it was fucking amazing. And then I woke up. I had great sleep. I guess, my energy was with them, or, because of their energy with many of us, who are into that stuff, and I'm pretty sure many of you actually felt that way too. And I slept very well actually, and I presume that they did too. In any case, so that was fucking amazing. And I don't want to go on and on about that, but that was fucking amazing. And so here I am. I'm just doing my podcast, and then have an amazing start of the week, right? Monday. Hopefully, this fucking what the fuck's happening, by the way. So apparently there have been riots all over the fucking country, after the death of this, this African American gentleman, and I don't want to get into the politics. I have no fucking idea. But regardless, I think chaos and riots, I don't think they are the answers. They are never the answers, and nobody actually would condone those. Nor would anybody condone any fucking brutality by cops or anybody else. I mean, this is so fucking it has been a shit show for the past 2 days or 3 days or however it is, right? However many days it is. On top of, hopefully towards the end of this fucking epidemic, or the pandemic we had. But hopefully things subside and everybody use their fucking rational mind instead of being emotional and all that, right? And I've just been focusing on my work, and that's it. And my girlfriend was over yesterday. We spent some quality time together. I ordered some food from Amelia's place here. I ordered some Mediterranean like salad and chicken and some like Cuban food. That was fucking amazing. Yeah. So and then she brought her dog. She's a very she's a very good dog. Easy, cute dog, very well behaved. So yeah. Well, I'm assuming that this fucking thing, Jesus fucking Christ, I mean, what the fuck's happening in this country after the pandemic? I guess people are already worked up, and then shit happens, and then, everybody's now political and emotional and whatever the fuck it is, dude. You have to fucking stay out of all this, focus on things that actually affect your life, and that's it, Focus on priorities in your life. The only thing that actually, I think I said this many times in my podcast previously, on many fucking occasions, right? That, the only thing that actually I kind of misses, not kind of, but I do misses, like fucking flying to another city, just take a break for 2 days, 3 days, That's the thing that I miss, but I'm assuming that that's going to happen soon. Hopefully I can fly down to Orlando or wherever, and then I had to get a fucking haircut, I was joking with my girlfriend, maybe, baby, can you give me a haircut? And she was laughing, yeah, of course. But I didn't want to fucking do that, too. I didn't want to fucking do that. How do I do that in my apartment, The hair will be all over the fucking place. No. So I'll just wait. My hair is growing. I mean, I don't have a lot of hair on my skull anyways, but, on the side and the fucking back, right? Yeah, things are kind of crazy, so you all out there, don't be political, don't be fucking take any fucking sides, whether that's fucking Antifa or fucking, far-right groups or whatever the fuck it is, stay out of the fucking line of fire. Focus on your fucking life and, things that actually matter in your life, Fuck that fucking emotional bullshit and just try to use your rational and logical, it helps if you do that more than you. I mean, it's human beings, we are prone to being emotional, or emotions, or sorrows, our griefs, our happinesses, our joys. Those are part of our lives, but, some things that you just don't want to don't want to be part of, things that um, they don't actually really matter in your life, things that actually may affect you negatively. Just fuck that, fuck that. Just stay the course and, stay with your life. Am I going to fucking turn my podcast into some sort of a fucking like, what's his name? Kevin Hart kind of a fucking like, you know, like an inspirational podcast when he was on fucking Joe Rogan's podcast the other. No, I'm not Kevin Hart, and no, I'm just going to talk about shit that I always talk about in my podcast, right? On my podcast, is that what it is? So, what else is going on? I mean, I talked about the docking of the International Space Station. I mean, what the fuck am I saying without repeating myself? The Dragon, that was fucking amazing. And I did go I didn't go for a walk today, but I did go to my, my usual bagels shop, and picked up my sandwich today. And the weather was a little chilly, northeast. And I just been just keeping it low key and just focusing on work, and that's it. Drinking a lot of water, And I'm hoping that we see some checks. I did drive into my Manhattan office yesterday, and nothing came in. I actually put some signs up there outside my office door. We have a glass office door at the penthouse. And I put a sign for the fucking, USPS, postman, to leave any penthouse mail outside the door in case the door is locked. Our office is closed, which is the case because of this fucking coronavirus. Because I, like I said, I work out of my Jersey City office for the most part. And then I had to, if I had to go to construction sites, or any job sites or new job sites, then I just drive into Manhattan or Brooklyn or Queens, right? Nothing came in, but we're hoping that we will see some payments this week, and then things, come back to normal. And I really feel bad for other businesses, including restaurants. They are in this fucking Jesus, in a shutdown mode, I'm assuming. Although many of the actually other businesses, I don't know much about Manhattan. Here in Jersey City and in Hoboken, bars are opening. At least they have opened to actually serve customers for pickup. So they're basically serving drinks at the windows. You can just, because I saw the fucking lines when I was actually leaving my office. At some of the bars and restaurants, people are in the line, waiting for the fucking drinks. So that's a sign that, slowly things are opening, which is a good thing. But I don't think the restaurants, especially the dine-ins, are going to be the same as before the fucking pandemic. So I don't know how that's going to plan out. So I have no idea. And are we in fucking depression after roaring 20s? That what it is? I have no fucking idea. But there is always hope. So let's just keep our fucking fingers crossed that things are going to get better. We will get out of this fucking pandemic. And now on top of that, we have this fucking chaos of fucking riots and all that. Hopefully we'll get out of that as well. New York City had some incidents I heard, and I was listening to fucking news and all that. But I mean, again, like riots and, looting and riots, and that's not the fucking answer, you fucking assholes. Whether you are on the far right or far left or where the fuck you are, this Dialogue is always the answer. Dialogue is always the answer. Rationality, logical sense. And I presume you all are having a great weekend. Despite all this, right? The first thing I want to do, I was telling my girlfriend yesterday, obviously, she's also kind of like in limbo because she was asking me whether, she should go to upstate because that's where she's from and whether she should just stay there. And I said, listen, no, because you don't have a car. You need a fucking car up there, even though you have your parents and all that. But she has been living by herself. She had an apartment, but then in the midst of this fucking chaos, right? Is that how you say it? It's fucking chaos. Basically, she moved everything. Her stuff into a storage in Syracuse. That's where she's from. But in any case, so without giving too much information about my girlfriends, whatever, I gave her my 2 cents. Whatever I felt like. I don't think she would be happy up there. Plus, she needs a car, which she doesn't have. So I told her, listen, baby, my suggestion to you is to stay in the city. You have a job here, and and then you can register for the fall semester. Depending on what your school says, because all the fucking schools and all these students who are registering for the fall semester and all that, even colleges, are fucking up in the air. They are all waiting for, whatever the fuck it is, CDC, the local governments, the health departments, to tell them what to do and whether they can open the schools or not. Although I was listening to, who the fuck I was listening to? Somebody I was listening to as a podcast. So they were saying that, I was there on NPR, one of those, right? Who gives a fuck, one of those, right? They were saying that, in China, basically, schools are open, the kids are going to school now, and they don't have to wear any fucking masks, right? So hopefully, this thing happens, and, most of the kids are home, being a pain in the fucking ass for their parents and everybody else, I'm assuming. Same thing for parents. Most of the parents are also home. I don't want to fucking work from home. I go to my Jersey City office. I don't have any kids, but even if I did, but yeah, this is not a fucking normal time. Hopefully, it gets back to normal to an extent. So that's my take on that one. Without fucking repeating myself, although I have a feeling that a couple of my podcasts are just a repetition of what the fuck I've been talking about. I guess because this has been affecting our fucking minds. Hopefully not affecting us to a point where we become fucking Jack Nicholson Shining, right? Hopefully not. So I was thinking about actually yesterday to take one of my drones and go to Liberty Park across from Morris Canal and just fly my drone. But then I realized, first of all, I had to fucking look at the wind forecast, 5 to 10 miles an hour yesterday. And because Liberty Park is just on the water, which means that it's, it always gets fucking wind, even if there's no wind inland, because of its proximity to like fucking Hudson River and all that, right? And the canal. There's always some wind there. So, and I don't have a drone that's heavy enough to sustain those winds. So then I basically just aborted the idea, right? Abort. And then I just focused. Actually, I did work yesterday for like maybe a couple of hours as well. But maybe like next weekend I'll do that. But I'm also hoping that by next weekend, I would be able to make a decision of like flying somewhere, just go to another city and just get a haircut and then, get a meal by properly dining in a restaurant, feel like what we were before this fucking pandemic hit us 2.5 months ago, right? And feel like a fucking normal person, you know? So things are opening up. Construction hopefully next week in New York City, because that's actually a real big thing, as well as a fucking dilemma for us, because we people who are associated with construction and architectural engineering, that's our bread and butter, you know, bread and fucking butter, right? What else can I say? I mean, construction is non-essential, right? New York. Oh, by the way, so fucking Como, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. I was actually texting my ex-colleagues. Como has been having this fucking briefing, right? Every fucking day almost. If you listen to like WCUS 880, whenever I turn on that fucking radio, whether I'm driving or, when I use Alexa, it's always fucking Como making his briefing speeches, right? And he's talking about, this virus actually came from Europe. Nobody told us. Really? Did you just fucking find out that actually the virus to Northeast, especially New York, actually came from Europe? You had no fucking idea, and you are actually asking now, after 2.5 months and after so many fucking deaths? Are you fucking kidding me? This is the state of things in a state like fucking New York. And he's just making fucking speeches, blaming others. Can you take some fucking blame on yourself, sir? Huh? This is the fucking state of fucking affairs in New York. As much as fucking bureaucracy, and this is the fucking bullshit that happens in a state like New York, right? Fuck that. That's why I'm glad I moved to New Jersey without repeating myself, Fuck that. And then I get an email, right? Last week, Friday, was that fucking Friday? From like New York State Department of Labor, right? That I might be able to get my unemployment benefits. Maybe I can claim some of the other weeks, which I did actually. I followed the fucking link. They sent me a link, and then I did the signature and all that. Let's see what happens if they send me some payments for the weeks that I was unemployed, right? So it's just a fucking shit show, man. So instead of making fucking speeches, why don't you take some fucking practical steps, right? Instead of like being on a fucking like briefing and blaming others and blah blah blah, right? Can you just fucking like do something practical which can benefit small businesses, restaurants, and people who are actually running out of business and they don't have any income coming in, they can't pay the bill, they can't pay the fucking rent. Instead, these fucking politicians and whoever, they want to drag their feet not to open, and they're making fucking excuses not to open, and bullshit. Fucking bullshit, man. Fucking bullshit. I'm not saying that we should not be worried about like health and safety, but this is like fucking like, this is, if this thing was going to go on for like for another like maybe month or two, we were going to turn into a fucking dictatorship where people or these politicians were going to like fucking dictate our lives. You can't do that, you have to do this, you can't be outside from this time to this time. In any case, so without fucking ranting on that one, but I guess I did rant, I watched some great shows which I wanted to talk about. I guess I'll talk about those in my cheat sheet, right? When I get to my cheat sheets, it's already 29 minutes, everyone. I got a lot of work, and I do have to actually finish up some items after this podcast before I hit the safe, right? Or before I go into status, right? Status as in being in a state of equilibrium, right? Equilibrium? Is that how you say it in English? Some great shows I saw, on Netflix and all that, So I'll get to those, but I've been watching, actually, lately I've been watching Battlestar Galactica season 1, because I watched season 3 and 4 like a month ago, I guess, but I hadn't watched season 1 and 2, so I'm basically now finishing up season 1, and then I'm going to get into season 2. That's a fucking amazing, great show, by the way. Battlestar Galactica. Fucking amazing show, When I was like wasting my fucking life back in 2003, 2004, going to fucking clubs and all that in New York, right? So that's when it actually came out. But in any case, yeah, well, things come sometimes late in your life, but they do come, and then you gotta, don't be a fucking like somebody living the past and, repenting and being remorseful and all that, fuck that. Sometimes I do that, but, then I try to get out of that, and you have to get out of that, and, just being in the present moment and that's life. So life is not perfect. And wow, sir, you said that so easy, huh? What? It's like black and white. It's not black and white. Life is never black and white. There are always gray areas in there. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. And there's a new show that came on with fucking Steve Carell, right? I don't like that actor. In movies especially. Shows I'm not sure. So there's a new one that actually came on Netflix. It's called the Space Force. Now we have a sixth branch of the military, right, in this country, the Space Force. So basically, I think they're making a comedic show based on that, right? So I think the first one aired yesterday, or was that March 29th? I mean May 29th. I'm sorry, not March. May 29th. So I guess I have to see that. Oh, the other great show that I've been watching on HBO is, I told you guys last time, with Mark Ruffalo. I saw the third episode of the first season. I guess that's a fucking miniseries, right? Things I believe are true, something like that. I don't want to fucking repeat myself. You guys can look it up. But that's also a great show. But in any case, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, what else can you do? I mean, I've been working a lot, and then especially over the weekends, and when I come home, then I watch a lot of shows and all that, right? So, I mean, I'm pretty sure you all are doing the same. I'm pretty sure you all actually doing more if you are actually even working from home, because that's a lot of hours. That's a lot of time. Yeah. But now, it's summer, unofficial summer, and weather is nicer, and you can see a lot of people along the pathways, along the canal. Who gives a shit about the fucking masks, when you're outside, Yeah. A lot of podcasts I've been listening to, as usual, I did listen. Bill Maher had his show yesterday, I mean on Friday, so I watched some of it. But then I was kind of tired yesterday after my girlfriend left, and then I just went into my bedroom. I watched a bit of I think Battlestar Galactica, and then I just passed out, fucking passed out. And then I had great sleep, and then I I caught up with the docking of Dragon when I woke up, and that was fucking great. So there's always hope for fucking humanity, right? If this planet becomes, a dystopian, shanty town because of a fucking virus or whatever the fuck it is, at least we will have a hope to be on the moon or on Mars, right? In near future. Near future. All right, everyone. So I don't want to go on and on my podcast for too long. Sunday night, and I don't have to get up super early tomorrow, but I do want to start my day early because I know the phone calls will be fucking coming in. Jesus Christ, Jesus fucking Christ. So, hey Naeem, hey man, so are you done with those drawings? Are you done with those, can you give me a call, please? I need this, I need that, blah, 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 So, so why don't we just get into our cheat show? By the way, so you guys noticed something new, by the way, in my podcast? Um, I I went into Target right yesterday, and I was looking for a lamp, like a floor lamp, but they didn't have floor lamps, right? Target here in Jersey City. But I picked up this fucking amazing like table lamp. It has like those clips, you can clip it onto the top of the table. As you can see, the lighting, I'm assuming that it's better in this podcast than the last one because I have that light actually, attached to this table here where my computer is sitting. And so that's it. That's something new, right? I mean, $20, it's the LED lights. You can't go wrong for that one, All right, everyone. So let's see. What do I have in my cheat sheet? If I have anything in my cheat sheet, if you guys are lucky, right? If you guys are lucky, not lucky, sorry. If you guys are fucking lucky. Let me see. Okay, so for the next podcast. Okay, so here we go. So I watched that show. It's called Another Life with Carrie. What's her name? I can't even say her name. Her last name, Carrie Skeff. Carrie. She's also in Battlestar Galactica, and that's how she actually fucking started off her career. She launched her career, right? With the launch of the Battlestar Galactica. Is that just Carrie? Carrie, Sekoff, yeah, Carrie Sekoff. And so that's a great show if you guys are into Another Life. I don't have any spoiler alerts, although that's a fucking old show, so who gives a shit, right? All right, so my next topic is drinks to go. All right, so I talked about that, drinks to go, so everybody's having that, especially over the weekends. Hoboken, I don't know about New York City, but you can have drinks to go. Curbside drinks are serving, these bars are serving, restaurants are serving, so I've been taking a break from booze, 27th day without booze. So I'm going to take a break, hopefully for a longer time. And again, this is not a time to celebrate. The other great show I watched, and this is my topic in my cheat sheet, is Colony. Colony is a 3 seasons show from, when is that from? I think 2013. It's a fucking great show with what's his name? Josh Holloway and what's her name? Colony. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information. Colony. That's a fucking great show. You guys can look it up. Colony. I don't want to turn my fucking podcast into like, what do you call? an advertisement platform for all these fucking shows. But yeah, that's a great. Oh, Sarah Van Kelly's. So Josh Holloway, Sarah Van Kelly's, blah blah blah. But that's a great fucking show in a dystopian near future, um, where aliens, they are basically forcing they colonize all these different areas of planet. And without any spoiler alerts, but that's a fucking great show. You guys can watch it. It's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's also on Amazon, but whatever. Whatever. That's a fucking great show. Basically, I binge watched that, and not binge watched that, but the whole week I've been watching that past whole week. And yeah, that's a fucking great show. You guys can look it up. I mean, watch it if you're into those shows. A lot of like fucking, not violence, but whatever, if you are into like futuristic, like sci-fi sort of like movies. I mean, shows and movies, obviously, right? Well, what was the other fucking movie I was watching? It became fucking boring. With, what's his name? Robert Dewey Jr. and this fucking Woody Harrelson in there, and then Keanu Reeves in there. What the fuck the name of that fucking movie was? It's kind of animated, but Keanu Reeves and I'm sorry, I apologize. Keanu Reeves and Dewey Jr. movie, right? Okay, a scanner darkly, right? This is from fucking 2000, I think 2010. Is that what it is? 2006. Scanner darkly. It became fucking boring, but I think it became it became sort of a cult movie, I think, with Robert Dewey Jr. and again, Keanu Reeves and all that. It's kind of sci-fi, sort of, but I don't know. It just. But if you guys are into that kind of, what the fuck, dude? Am I basically turning my podcast into like movies and shows? But in any case, which I don't want to do, obviously. And but I guess I did, right? My next topic, everyone, 42 minutes, 47 seconds. Gas prices and rental cars. Okay, so here we go. So I had to drive into Queens on, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday? Tuesday, sorry. No, Wednesday, because Monday was off. Tuesday was the first day of the week, first work day of the week, and then I had to drive to a new job site in Queens. And on the way back, I realized that I was running out of fucking gas. So I Googled on fucking, not Google, but on fucking Waze, the mapping software app on my iPhone, and then I found a gas station nearby. Fucking gas prices are so fucking cheap, especially in New York City. They're as cheap as in New Jersey. I mean, obviously, gas is cheaper everywhere because nobody's actually going anywhere, right? In this fucking epidemic. And so that's fucking amazing. So, I still drive into the city if I go to my Manhattan office to check the mail. But the gas prices are fucking down. And the other thing that actually has affected, has been affected by this fucking pandemic, obviously, is the car rental companies, because they are not fucking renting any of the cars, because nobody's renting the cars from them, because nobody's, again, going anywhere, right? Nowhere to go. Where am I supposed to go, huh? It's this fucking pandemic. Stay home, sir. So So the car rental companies are suffering. Apparently, companies like Hertz. I told you guys I bought my car from Hertz last year in June, towards the end of June, and I got a really good deal. But if I was actually looking up because one of the guys actually this WhatsApp chat group I'm on, he was talking about rental cars companies basically selling their cars. I'm pretty sure they are actually now selling cheaper, much better deals than what I had. But I needed a fucking car, so that's why I mean, my deal was not that bad, but I was thinking, and I was actually looking up, maybe I can call up Hertz or maybe another company. Actually, Hertz, because that's where I bought mine from. I mean, my car is fine, it only has like 47,000 miles on it. It works, it runs perfectly, no issues, nothing. Although I have to take it to the fucking, probably I'll do an oil change and then do like a wash, a vacuum and wash and all that, right? But yeah, so all these rental companies, if you are looking for a car, these are the companies where you want to buy like cars from, because these companies actually, they maintain their cars well, they usually have low mileage and they give you a good deal. So instead of buying from a fucking dealer, this is where you want to buy your car from if you need to buy a car, right? Pre-owned, is that what they're saying instead of using the word secondhand? Pre-owned cars, right? Just to make it more like fucking fancier, right? In any case, without getting into that jargon of English language, is there another topic do I have in my cheat sheet, everyone? I presume, again, you all are having a great Sunday night, whatever the hell you guys are doing. And don't caught up in those fucking riots. Riots. People are fucking throwing Molotov fucking like, cocktail bombs. Jesus fucking Christ, what the fuck is going on in this fucking country? People are basically just, blazing, buildings on blazes. And what the fuck, dude? Jesus. Let me see. Do I have any other topic in my cheat sheet, everyone? Let me see. Dragon Launch 527. I thoroughly discussed that. I beat that topic to death. But that was great, actually. That made my last night and my day today, actually. That was fucking great. What a successful fucking mission, through commercial and flights and with NASA's funding and all that, great technology. Geniuses like Elon Musk and all these people are making it happen, making it happen. It's happening. It's really happening. It's real now, huh? So without any, being a mouthpiece for SpaceX or any of that, I think I'm going to close my podcast, everyone. And again, I assume that the weather this week is going to be nicer, not as hot and not as chilly, and that's the kind of weather I like, right? And with that said, I'll see you all next weekend.